Alrighty guys, what's going on? Weenbean here, and today we're going to go over the news that we hit Battle Hour, but before we get into that, I just wanted to say thank you guys for everything, and we've hit 81 subscribers, and I don't think I've ever done anything or thanked for any of that, and I just am really thankful for all the support and really grateful for it all, so I just wanted to come on here and say something quick about that. So it really does mean a lot to me, more than you guys probably even know. So thank you for that. It was a very good battle hour. It was a very good weekend for Dragon Ball. Not only did we get, news on upcoming games and stuff, but the Dragon Ball Masters Showcase was really cool. The little tournament they had for DBFZ was really cool, and just a bunch of other cool events and stuff. And it's always nice when the Dragon Ball community can come together and just be really excited, especially with the last few years that we've had with Dragon Ball just being kind of stuck in limbo, and then obviously Toriyama passing and stuff. It's just really nice when we can kind of all come together and just enjoy this property that I know means just so much to all of us. It means the world to me. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now or have any enjoyment, I guess not in life. I don't know, that's a crazy thing to say, but like Dragon Ball just brings me so much enjoyment. I love this series. I love these characters. Some of my fondest memories growing up are watching Dragon Ball with my father. It's just, I couldn't imagine a world where Dragon Ball didn't exist. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into it, because we do have quite a few things to cover. I'm not going to cover anything that I'm not too terribly interested in, so Gekishin Squadra and the Dragon Ball Legends news, I'm not going to cover. They didn't really show anything either. I'm pretty sure, I think all Gekishin showed was the new skins. Maybe they showed a new character. I didn't see it. And then Legends just announced a collab that Dokkan's also doing with Xenoverse 2. So if those games interest you, I'm sorry, I'm not going to cover them in this. I don't really play them. But I guess since we're already talking about that, I will cover Dokkan. Dokkan and Legends and Squadra, they're all doing a Xenoverse 2 collab, to celebrate its final DLC coming, and it being, 10 years since that game came out. And so since they're doing the collab, Dokkan is releasing a Toa and Mira unit. It's Toa plus Mira. I believe they're just not a tag unit. They're just one unit together. With a banner unit Trunks, it seems like, or maybe they're both banner units, because we did find out today that the LR Super Saiyan God Ultra Villain Vegeta that then transforms into just pure Super Saiyan God Vegeta is a Dokkan Fest LR. I don't know if both the Toa and Mira and the Vegeta are going to be Dokkan Fest, or if it's just the Vegeta. It doesn't seem like this is Golden Week. I kind of thought that they would maybe show the Golden Week TURs, but I guess not. Now, if anyone cares about Dokkan, for me, what I really want Golden Week, I love Vegeta. He's my favorite character, in not only just in Dragon Ball and in anime, but in all of fiction. I love that man to death. But we've gotten now 3 Vegetas in a row, right? Because with this Super Saiyan God Vegeta, this will be the 3rd one. I really want, since it does seem like this year it's the year of Goku and Vegeta. I would really like for Golden Week to be Kid Goku versus King Piccolo. I would love for that version of Kid Goku to honestly be an LR. The pose, I'll put it on screen, but the pose when he pulls up and after, Tien's on the ground and he's just mean mugging King Piccolo, like, oh my god, one of the sickest moments in all of Dragon Ball. I want that to be an LR card art so bad. So maybe they won't use that art for the Golden Week TUR, but if they do, I won't be mad. I want new units. That King Piccolo needs a TUR really bad. And then, they always have a Part 2 LR for that celebration, so I don't know what the Part 2 LR would be. Maybe a Master Roshi, or maybe like a Yamcha or something. We got Tien last year, so I don't see a Tien being it, but they could use a Tien from the drum fight. Or maybe a Yamcha Tien Chaozu unit. I don't know. They could make something up. Maybe a new Bulma. We did get a Bulma, 3 years ago now. The main reason I'd want that to be the celebration too is just because we have Dragon Ball units that need to be Easy Aid. We do have 23rd World Tournament Goku, Piccolo Jr. Obviously, Bulma can also be easy aid there. So they would have some stuff to make it a good team. Bulma would really help out too with the Part 2 Dokkan Fest of the 11th anniversary. Since Super Saiyan 4 tag Vegeta and Goku lead Power Wishes, and she'd be a Rainbow Orb Changer and stuff. Those characters, the Vegeta and Goku, really need orbs, Rainbow Orbs specifically. So I would like that. If anything else, I would think with Golden Week they could maybe do Kid Buu and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. We haven't gotten that in a while, but it would feel kind of weird because 2 Golden Weeks ago, 2 years ago, we did get Fat Buu versus Super Saiyan 3 Goku. They could do Super Saiyan 3 a Super Saiyan 3 Goku tag unit with Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, but they also did just Easy A, the 8th anniversary LRs, which is basically that same unit, except this would be a tag, so it'd be a little bit better. But I digress. I don't know what they'll do for that. Those are just the 2 picks that I would want. Because I really would like, I think I'm on board with everyone else. I would like Namek to be, GDC / Worldwide Download Celebration of what it used to be called, or it be, Tanabata. So, but I would personally really like GDC to be Namek into ROF. Actually, never mind. Scrap that because it can't. I don't want it to be ROF because that will just segue into the next thing we need to cover. We did get more Dragon Ball Super remake news. We got a new trailer showing some new footage of the Dragon Ball Super Beerus remake, and unfortunately we didn't get a release date. It still just says fall 2026. I don't know when they're going to drop the release date. I don't know when the next big event is for them to drop it, so I guess they'll just randomly drop it online at some point or something. But the main thing to take away from that trailer is they showed that we are indeed getting the Resurrection F remake. Now, Resurrection F is probably my least favorite, or one of my least favorite Dragon Ball movies and arcs. I don't really care for that stuff. I think the movie's obviously way better than the Super arc, but I never really liked that movie when it came out. I don't think it's worse than Bio Broly, of course, but I definitely don't really like rewatching that movie. I usually do skip it if I'm doing a rewatch of all the stuff. So, but maybe they, maybe with this making changes or anything that they do, we will see. Maybe it'll be better for me or not. One of the producers for the anime, I believe, or something, I'll put the screenshot on screen, but they did say that they were going to be tweaking story changes, or they were going to have story changes. I saw a lot of people running with this and thinking kind of going a little bit, I think a little too far, thinking they're going to change the whole story of the stuff, or big major aspects. I think this is literally them just saying that they are going to take stuff from the manga, which we have all kind of figured out that they were going to do. I also saw people saying that them redoing ROF shows that we're getting a whole remake of Super, and while I do think that is true, I don't think this is the thing that tells us that. It's been leaked for a while now that they were going to do the first 2 arcs. So I don't think this is direct confirmation that we're getting all of it remade, but I do think you can go ahead and think that that's what's going to happen. Now, I don't know what that does to Moro, how long it's going to take them to go through all of Super, because, Tournament of Power, they're going to have to shorten by quite a bit. Tournament of Power is 40 episodes, I hope, so we'll see. I do have high hopes, though, that we'll still get Moro in 2027, just because you do find out at the end of the Resurrection F trailer that it's also coming fall 2026. Now, there's a rumor that I think the Battle of Gods arc is going to be 6 or 8 episodes, in between that range. So I would assume Resurrection F will probably be around the same, and they're dropping them both fall 2026. So what I think is going to happen, we're going to see the Battle of Gods episodes, take a week, maybe a month break, and then Resurrection F will be posted. And if they do that, and they've, been animating all this stuff, and they've been actually given time to work, then maybe 2 months later we'll get U6, then another 2 months or another month we'll get Goku Black, Tournament of Power, and then that will lead into fall 2027 where we get Moro. That is the perfect timeline, I think. I hope that is what happens, but I don't know what's going on over there production-wise or anything. So hopefully that's what happens. If you haven't seen the trailer, you should go check it out. It's a very good trailer. I can't really post any screenshots or anything of it because Toei really hates when you do that, and I don't want this video taken down or anything or striked and have to deal with all that. So the next thing I want to go over is Sparking Zero. We got 30 characters, not all shown off, but they did show, they're basically doing like a whole expansion. They're calling it like a new game almost. It's like Limit Breaking Neo or something. I'll put a picture up of like what they're calling it now. But we got to see some of the characters. We saw Super 17 there. Nam is coming. Tao, Grandpa Gohan, General Blue, GT Vegeta, GT Trunks, which I'm really excited for both of those because I'm a big I do like GT a lot. It's not my favorite and it has its faults, but I love the character designs of GT and especially Trunks' design. I love Trunks' design and I really love GT Goten's design. Goten's one of my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball. I just think he's such a cool, lovable character, and I really liked what they did with him in GT as well. And I like what they did with Trunks too. That version of Trunks, it would make sense that he would grow up and follow in his mother's footsteps and stuff. I really liked that aspect. I don't really like too much what they're doing with Trunks in the Super manga, where they make him kind of like a little bit stupider, and like Bola is the smart one. I honestly liked, they both can be intelligent, but I always liked Bola having more of Bulma's personality and Trunks being like a little bit more stern and a little like, because when you see Kid Trunks, like he's always looking up to his dad and stuff. So, but I digress. This is not me needing to dissect Dragon Ball story and what I like, but we got that. We got technically 5 new stages, but they count them as 4 because 2 of them are space stages. One of them is, they call them Stratosphere, but if you played the old Tenkaichi games, they're called space, for like we all call them space. So space, Stratosphere Planet Vegeta and Stratosphere Earth. So where Bardock fought Frieza and then where Goku fought Beerus. We got the ice stage from from Broly. Got Kami's Lookout and Kame House. So stages that definitely should have been in the game, and I think this trailer just like pretty much fully solidified that this game was rushed. I'm assuming by Bandai Namco. If they would have if they could have developed this game for longer, like another year and a half, all this would have been in the base game and that would have been cool. But it is what it is. All this stuff is also going to be paid DLC that comes in the summer. We don't have an official release date. It's just summer of 2026. So I'm sure that's a little disappointing to people, but I figured I was going to have to pay for this stuff anyway. So I'm not disappointed by it. I just expect it. You know what I mean? But a lot of characters. We also get the survival mode tomorrow, or the day. I think I'm going to post this on Tuesday. So day you'll be watching this, the survival mode should be out. They also showed a change to the battle system. They didn't really go over it too much. It seems like team battles, you can like swap to your character and they can do a blast to like finish a combo, which seemed kind of cool. And they had some new thing called like Sparking Boost, which I guess they're just trying to make it kind of like the Raging Blast mode in Raging Blast. But they didn't give us like any really details on it. They just kind of showed like a quick little image of it, and that was it. I might put it on screen or I may not. I don't know. And then we got a new mode that they showed. I don't know if they named the mode, but basically you start off and you pick a map or an area, and then you fight. And you either, instead of like at the bottom, it's like sometimes like you train or sometimes you just learn or something like that. And then you're able to you basically get skill points and you make your character stronger and all that stuff. It's kind of like a roguelike. Seemed interesting, but again, they didn't really give too much info on it. So it's something that will be coming later, I'm sure. Don't know when, but at some point. So that was pretty cool. Sparking Zero news. We love Sparking Zero over here. So very, very happy with that. Xenoverse 2 also showed off its final DLC. Not too much. It does, it looks like we're getting Ultra Super Villain Krona, or I always forget how to, I always mispronounce her name, but the Supreme Kai of Time will be a super villain. I think they showed off one other character, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me Google it. Okay, yeah, upon looking back at the trailer, it does look like it was just the Supreme Kai of Time and like all the other super villains are coming back. And then there's kind of like this big like kind of endgame-esque moment where like Goku and a bunch of all the other heroes are in front of the time crystals. And it does kind of look like, I saw someone call it this, but I don't know if we've had any real confirmation of what the name will be for this form. It looks like Goku's getting a new form, like Ultra. I think it's gonna be Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Superhero version. We don't actually see it though in the trailer. He just talks about, you know, the typical Goku thing, like I've never felt this power before. So pretty cool, pretty cool. I haven't played any of the Xenoverse DLCs. I've watched them all, but I never bought in them. And now if you try to buy those DLCs, it costs more than the base game ever did. And especially now because the game's like $20. But I digress. And then next we have to cover is the Fighters news. We did not get a new patch, which I'm very happy about. Not that I care for not that I like the state of the way the game is now. But every time they patch this game, they make it worse, in my opinion. So I'm glad they're just leaving it alone. But we did get a trailer for Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. Looked very interesting. I see a lot of people talking about how they think this wasn't made by ArcSys. Maybe it was like a different team that made this character, which would make sense because since they are working on Guilty Gear and Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, I don't see how they would have much time. I will say with this announcement, with the trailer of him, we didn't get another season pass, which I thought it was like a 50-50 toss-up, but I still think it's weird that we didn't get Beast Gohan in the game, but we get this form. You know, like, if they're just going to do the new forms, I don't get why we didn't get Beast Gohan. Because I feel like Beast Gohan was more hype, or is more hype, than Super Saiyan 4 Daima Goku. I'm not saying he is to me personally, because I like Super Saiyan 4 the most, but I feel like if you were to ask people, like a general consensus, that's what they would say, is that Beast Gohan was more hype. But he looked good. He looked really strong. He has, you know, these big ki blasts that looked really cool that they took from, you know, the mini form. There's like a really cool combo where like he kind of juggles, I think it's Kid Buu that he's juggling and then blasts a beam, or maybe it was Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. His level 5 looked amazing. His intro looked amazing. He's got armor on his moves. Like there's this one part where Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is just like punching him and he's like charging up this move, and Gogeta doesn't break the armor and then he punishes him. So character's probably going to be broken beyond belief and annoy the piss out of me, but I can't wait to play him. He launches in 2 days on Wednesday. I'm very excited to play him and, you know, hopefully have fun with him. I already have some team ideas that I'm going to do with him, and, you know, I'm sure he'll be very good. He had a beam. He had this one move where Kid Buu goes to do his level 3 and Goku kind of like, he gets behind him, but he like, I don't know, he like dodges the attack. It kind of reminded me of UI Goku's flips in like his 6H. He just goes behind. But yeah, they didn't have like a breakdown or anything. I was kind of shocked. Like, I figured they would have maybe had a little bit more, and they showed the trailer before the finale of the Masters Showdown. It felt honestly a little bit weird to me. I feel like that's something they would have showed off at the end, but like at the end of the Masters Showdown. But you know, that is how that is how Battle Hour ended. So maybe they just didn't think it was hype enough. But speaking of hype, the hypest thing to come out of this, the thing that everyone knew it was, and if you didn't, I don't honestly know how you even believed that it wasn't this for a second. But Xenoverse 3 was finally announced. It is coming 2027. We don't have an exact release date, but I do believe today you can pre-order it, or you can at least wishlist it. We got a beautiful animated trailer, and I cannot lie to you, I shed a tear when the character I think his name's Brett, which is fucking hilarious. I have a cousin named Brett, which is like mad off topic, but that's just funny to me. But when he's flipping through the music and I hear that Xenoverse 1 like menu music, I shed a tear. I just could not. I brought me right back to my like freshman year of high school or sophomore year. I don't remember what year of high school I was in when that game came out. It was either freshman or sophomore year, but it was just like, it's like that meme or that scene from Ratatouille where, you know, he takes the bite of the food and he's transported back to a kid. Like, me hearing that just brought me right back to there, and I was just like, oh, I was locked in. The animated trailer was beautiful. We didn't get any gameplay or anything. They did kind of show what I would assume is going to be the opening scene. Like Bulma, which, yeah, Bulma's still alive. I love her new design, though. I think it's so fire. But she, like, crashes into your house, and it's, you know, she's talking to John 1000 or John Dragon Ball, but that's obviously going to be what your character is, and she crashes in there. In the trailer, they kind of showed off the hub world, like not actually showed it off, but like it's animated in the trailer and stuff. It looks like it's going to be huge. Looks like you might have your own like apartment or something, which is kind of cool. Maybe you'll be able to decorate it with, you know, things you bring back from the past and stuff from your missions and stuff. It looked awesome. It looked awesome. You saw Piccolo there too, or at least someone we think is Piccolo. Of course, it could just be showing, you know, we have the Namekian race because we obviously have Saiyans with tails there. They, I think, pretty much confirmed the Supreme Kai race, maybe the Demon race. I saw someone talking about androids as well. I have to rewatch the trailer to like really dissect it, but the trailer was just awesome. Very, very, very excited for that game, and the fact that Xenoverse 2 got 10 years of support, this game will probably get just as many. It will do just as well, if not better. It's just so nice. It just feels so good to be a Dragon Ball fan right now. It's just like, oh, I'm just like in euphoria, not the show, just the state of euphoria. But yeah, that's really all there is to cover. If there's anything else you're excited for or anything you want to talk about, just leave in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe, because we will be covering all this stuff on the channel as soon as it drops. And yeah, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you guys have a great week. I will see you later this week, of course, for Diamond Goku, but I hope you guys have a great week. And yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.